Losing power for a day sucks, but imagine losing power for 1, 2, 3 weeks. That is what happened to a lot of people in the southeast US, where the hurricanes have just devastated people over there. Now, you can always get a gas-powered generator. Those things are loud, you gotta fuel them up, and you can't run them indoors. If your situation goes on a couple weeks, you can run out of gas and you're kind of SOL. But that is where Jackery comes in. They have just released a brand new whole home power setup. This is gonna include the brand new 5000 plus battery backup. We've got the smart transfer switch and their massive 500 watt solar panel. Now, I do want to thank Jackery for sending all of these devices out for me to take a look at and sponsoring today's video. So first off, let's start with just the 5000 plus battery backup. This device right here has a capacity of 5,040 watt hours. It is a lithium ion phosphate battery, or an LFP battery, and it is capable of up to 4,000 recharges, or roughly about 10 years of power. Now, being designed for a whole home backup, there are 5 different ways to get this device charged up. First, we have got our AC input that is capable of 1,800 watts of charging and can charge this thing to full in 3.5 hours. Next up, we have got the smart transfer switch. This thing is going to actually draw power directly from the grid and going to be able to charge your device up to 4,000 watts. That is incredibly fast, and it can fully charge up your battery in 1.7 hours. Next up, this device is capable of charging at up to 1,000 watts through solar panels and has the ability of high voltage PV charging that can also do 4,000 watts. Lastly is its hybrid charging, which essentially combines all of these options together to draw the most power to this device. So if you have a small trickle of AC coming in from the wall, but you also want to plug your solar panels in and use that smart transfer switch, you can do that too to pull a max of 4,000 watts and get this thing charged up in that 1.7 hours. Now, with as impressive as all of the input charging is, let's take a look at this device and all the ports on it and see what this device can output. All right, so here is our device right here and all of the ports that we're seeing on front. So right up here on the front, we have got our 12 volt car charger right here. You do have to hit this button to turn it on and off. We've got on this side our power button. So the power button is going to power on and off the display. If you push and hold it, it'll actually turn the device on and off. Taking a look at our LCD display, we have got our input. So that's going to be our input numbers, output numbers, and then we've got the percent charged right here. If you do have something plugged in, it's also going to pop up with a number showing you how much time is left, either getting it charged up or discharging the device. We also see we have Wi-Fi connected up here at the top. Over here on this side, we have got our USB ports. So USB-C 100 watts, USB-A 18 watts max on those. You do have to hit the button, like with all of them, to turn those on and off. And then down here, we have got our AC ports. So something to keep in mind with our AC ports right here is that they are set up in 2 different sections. So we've got 1 and 2, and we've got 3 and 4. With these right here, these are going to be maxing out individually at 2,400 watts. Now, you can pull 2,400 watts from one of these individually, but combined for these 2, they max out at 3,600 watts. So keep that in mind. If you need 2,400 watts, you would have to plug in, say, one here and one here, because they are divided between the 2 right there, and they do have a surge of 7,200 watts. So you're going to get a 7,200 watt surge out of these guys right here. Now, if we take a look over here on the right hand side, we can see a lot more of our inputs right here. This is going to be our AC expansion. If you do have the smart transfer switch, this is the plug that you will use to plug into that device. We've also got our generator plug right here. This is going to do 120 and 240. Down below that, we have got our NEMA 1450 plug right here. This is what you can use for charging up, say, like a Tesla. And then we have got our AC output resets over here. Now, we do have nice venting on either side of this device. Big wheels right here, and then it does have caster wheels down below, which, let's see if we can spin it. Yep, caster wheels down below with locks on them too, so that is nice. Go ahead and turn this guy around right here. We can see the other side of it. Over on this side right here, we're going to see our DC input. So here we're going to see our high voltage PV switch. We have also got, well, let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at it right here. So underneath here, this is going to be the switch for switching over to our high voltage PV. We have got our MC4 connectors right here if you do have solar. And then we've also got our low PV 8020 ports right there. Below that, we have got the AC in. So if you're gonna plug it into a wall, use this port. And if you have an expansion battery, there is the port for the expansion battery. Now, a cool thing with this device too, up here on the top, we've got handles on either side with the grip feeling a little rubbery, which is nice to grab onto. So we have that on either side. And then we also have a handle that pops up right there. So a nice handle that you can use for wheeling it around. Let's close that up. And from here, you can push down and it's really easy to actually tilt back, which makes it nice. Here on the back too, we do have rubber feet on both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead, close that. Actually, let's open it up and I'm gonna lay it down. Because you can lay it down flat too. And down here on the bottom is another handle. So if you do need to pick this up and move it, there's a handle down here. And you can use this laying on its side. So if you do want to use it laying on its side horizontally, you can do that. Just keep in mind venting. So venting on either side needs to be clear for this thing to be used. If the venting is blocked, it will throw an error code. So do keep that in mind. Okay, so with all of this power, the obvious use case with this is going to be connecting it up to a whole home power station. And that is where we get this guy right here. So this is the Jackery Smart Transfer Switch. And in here is going to house all of the breakers that we want to be powered up by this. I did not install this myself. I would definitely recommend getting a professional to come install this. That is what I had. I had somebody come over and they actually went from my main breaker box of the house, rewired everything into here, and now I've got 4 different breakers that are going to be powered up in case of a power outage. Now, to get this thing connected is super simple to do. I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna wheel the 5000 plus right underneath here, making sure that we've got venting on both sides. And then we're going to take our cable to get it all connected. So I'm just gonna plug it into the AC port number 1 right here. It just pops right into place. And then we're gonna plug it right here on the side. And now that is connected up. I also have the addition of the extra battery. So the cool thing about the extra battery too is that it's also 5000 watts, meaning that it is doubling the capacity of the main unit right here. So we've got 10,000 total watt hours that can be used out of this device. Getting this one connected up, it does come with a small cable right here. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this one into the side right there. Other end is going to be plugged in right here. And now we have both of those connected up. And here is where we can really start taking advantage of this full setup. So with these extra batteries right here, you can actually connect up to 5 extra batteries per 5000 plus station. And if we notice up here, we have got ports for 2 full stations. So you can actually build out your whole system to equal out a total of 60,000 watt hours to power your house. Now, something that I really like about this setup right here is that on the daily basis, you can actually set up a schedule where it can jump over to any breaker that is in here to be powered by this battery pack during a certain time of day. So I currently have mine set up that during peak hours, these breakers up here are actually going to being powered off of here. So I don't have to pay the peak hour pricing. And then when peak hours are over, this device will charge itself back up, which right there alone is gonna save me a ton of money. Now, the next thing that I wanna show you is the features in the app. So let's go ahead and take a look at the app now. Okay, so now let me show you some of the features that we're actually gonna be getting in the app here. So I have got both of my devices that you can see right here. So we've got the 5000 plus and we've got the smart transfer switch. If I take a look at the 5000 plus right here, it shows the battery percentage that it has right now, the temperature in Celsius. We've got our input and output right here. In here, we can actually turn our AC or any of our ports on and off just directly here in the app, which is pretty cool. And then we've got our screen time timeout if you do want to do that. And then this one here does show the battery pack down below. So we do have 1 battery pack installed. We can see it's at 98%. So that is what we are seeing out of just the Explorer 5000 Plus. I'm gonna go ahead and tap on here. You can see some of the other features that you can actually set up and go through with the app. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time going through each one of these, but you can see right here some of those different options. I'm gonna back out of here because I wanna jump over to the smart transfer switch. So here it's going to show you the power coming in from the grid and the power going out to the house, or what the house is actually using right now on those 5 circuits that I have set up. We can see down below here, we have got the battery set up in our AC1. So this is showing the battery right here. We've got both the battery and the extra battery showing up right here. We can click on the charge now button to get it charged up. Down below that, we can see our consumption, whether it was from the grid or power generated, or just the generation of power being used right here. And then down below here, we have got some cool settings too. So here we have our circuits. Here we can see what each individual circuit is pulling, and I have also labeled the circuits that I'm using so I know which area they are going to. You can go into each individual circuit. Let's go into one that I'm actually using right now. So let's go into the garage one right here. From here, you can see the actual power being used, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly. I have had this for a little while now, so it's cool that we can see that history right there. You can turn it on and off. Let's go ahead and back out of here because there's something else that I want to show you, and that is backup priority mode. So clicking on here, you can actually set up priority for different circuits. So let's say I do lose power in the house and it's going to be for multiple days or multiple hours, and I do want to prioritize certain circuits. So down below at the very bottom, we can set up non-essential circuits. So for these are automatically going to get turned off during the battery only power supply. Now, if the battery drops below 33%, the other ones that are going to get turned off. So right now I say, if the battery is going to drop below 33% on what I have downstairs, go ahead and turn the office circuit off and the living room circuit off. Those are non-essential circuits that I need to have running. The ones that I have to have running all the time are going to be master bedroom, garage, and kitchen fridge. Now in the garage, I do have a fridge in there, so that's why those 2 are there. And then for the master bedroom, that's going to be the internet. And then I also have a fish tank that needs to have its filter running all the time. And so I do have that one just on the battery backup here. But just to give you an example, that is how you can set up different certain backup priority from here. Now, the last thing that I want to show you here is the working modes. So tapping on working modes here, you can set up your schedule. So here is where I have a schedule set up. So if I go into my schedules right here, and from here, I have it set up to discharge, so start using the battery during my peak hours, which is 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then off-peak hours, go ahead and charge that battery back up. That has been a really cool feature and something that I have loved using about this unit right here, because even if it is not storming outside or a natural disaster, or I'm desperate to have whole home battery backup, just on the daily use of this thing right here, I'm able to save money on electricity. So that is super cool and something that I just love having this thing around on a day-to-day basis. If you guys want to know more about this device, I recommend taking a look in the description for links on all of these products. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.